So how do you fix this problem of a twisted sense of time? Feeling that you're out of time and that it's too late for everything can really mess with your life. I know a lot of people who say that they want to change their career, that they're just not happy in their current job, they want to leave the rat race and do something completely different. The big problem is that there's just no more time and it's just too late to start. And because they think that way, they just stay put. The only problem is that 4, 5, 6 decades from now, it will actually be too late. There are two solutions to this. There are two ways that once and for all you can change your whole perspective of time and stop thinking that it's too late. And once you solve this problem, you can actually go ahead and make that career change that you always wanted to make. So let's start with the first solution, and this is called the concept of career life ahead. This is a super simple concept that lays out in front of you how much time you actually still have. And this is in total contrast to what I call the Netflix distortion. When you start watching a series on Netflix, you start with the first episode and then Netflix will take you to the second episode, and before you know it, you've spent 3 or 4 hours binging Netflix, and there goes your time. And yes, that happened to me too a lot of times. The question is only, why in that case don't we ever feel that we don't have time? I mean, I never heard anyone saying, I want to watch Game of Thrones, but I just don't have time. No, usually somehow you always have time for that. On the other hand, when you're thinking about doing things that are really important to you, such as changing your career, and maybe that takes looking up and researching what education you need, what certifications or courses you need to do, all of a sudden you can't even spare 15 minutes to look into that. You just don't have the time. So now that is where we'll get into the concept of career life ahead. And for that, I'll use a very simple example. And if you really want to make a difference in the way you view time and treat time, then do get a piece of paper and a pen and do this example along with me. So here's a timeline of what I would say is the typical age of my viewers on this channel. The first mark that I want you to make is the age at which you started your first job. And for simplicity's sake, let's just say that it's 20. In your case, that might be 23, 22, 21, 25, and so on. And the second mark I want you to make is the age at which you plan to retire. And for simplicity's sake, again, I will use the age 60. I know that in reality, most people will retire at 65, 67, or nowadays might even be forced to work until 70. So just use an approximation and pick an age at which you think you'll likely retire. And the first number that we now want to calculate is career life. In this example, your career life would be 60 minus 20, which is 40 years. What I mean by career life is the total number of years during which you can and want to pursue a career. And the next number that I want you to mark in is your current age. And let's just say in this example that currently you are 30 years old. Okay, the first number that we'll now calculate is career life past. So in this example, the percentage of career life past is 30, your age now, minus 20 when you first started working, so you worked for 10 years in total, divided by 40, your total career life equals 25%, which means that so far you've only spent a fourth of your whole career life. And in your particular case, it might be even less. It might be 15% or 20%. And that leads us to what is even more important, which is career life ahead. And in this example, that's 60, the age at which you want to retire, minus 30, your current age, divided by 40, which is your total career life, equals 75%. And this simply means that you still have 75% of your total career life ahead to pursue the kind of career that you really want. In other words, you have 3 times the amount of time that has already passed to make the changes that you need to. And if that's not more than enough time, then I don't know what to tell you. So let me know in case you did this calculation and what percentage of career life ahead you arrived at. And I would really appreciate it if you would leave that in the comments down below. I would really be curious to know about it. And also tell me if this has helped you to change your perspective about time in any way. And now let's get to the second solution to stop thinking that it's too late for the perfect career. And this solution is backward looking. One reason that oftentimes we think that it's too late to do something is because we overestimate the amount of time it takes. I know it's funny. Sometimes we underestimate the time to do something. For example, you need to complete this presentation or report for work and you've allocated 1 hour, but it turns out that it takes you 3 hours. But on the other hand, when you're thinking of more profound changes, like for example, changing careers or moving to a different country or starting a business, sometimes it can just get so overwhelming and so intimidating that you can't even get to any kind of time estimation. And all that you're then left with is fear. So guys, guys, to overcome this, it is really important to get back an objective sense of time. And this is what I mean. The best way to get an idea of how long things might take you in the future is to look back to your own past and look at how long things took you. So think of things that you achieved in the past that are meaningful to you and that you were proud of. For example, getting a promotion, or finishing a big project at work, or building a treehouse in your backyard, or renovating your whole house. And also think of how long it took you to do those things. And this is where I want to share with you one of my own experiences. I, like a lot of people, tend to underestimate what I'm capable of. So thinking back to my own accomplishments and how long that took me really helped me. One of the things that I really try to keep in my mind is my experience of producing 2 feature films within a time span of 3 to 4 years. If I don't intentionally remind myself of my accomplishment, I tend to forget it. I tend to forget that in the past I was capable of doing that. So this concept, guys, is what I call proof of accomplishment. To have the courage, the motivation to make big changes in your life going forward, you need to have this list of proof of accomplishments handy. This list of meaningful things that you've already accomplished in the past serves as evidence that you are capable, that you've got what it takes to pull off great things. Another example that I bet most of you can relate to is your accomplishments of getting a degree or studying and then getting your first job. So think back to when you first got into college at the age of 17 or 18. Think of how long it took you to get that degree, let's say 3 years or 4 years, and then how long it took you to get your first job and even promotion, and let's say that's 1 or 2 years. So in that time span of 5 to 6 years, you actually got an education, a degree, and started a new career. That is what you did. You started a new career. So just think about it. If you in the past, as a naive 17, 19, 21-year-old, were able to get an education and get a job in a new industry that you've never worked in before, why in the world would you not be able to do that now? Now that you have more life experience, more skills, and also more knowledge about how the world of work works in general. What in the world would keep you from doing the same thing in the future? In fact, if right now you would start launching a new career, if you were to change careers, it might take you even less time. Perhaps it would only take you 3 years, or in some cases even less than that. It's not too late for the perfect career, guys. Remember that on one hand, you still have a lot of career life ahead, and on the other hand, you also have proof that in the past you've accomplished meaningful, great things in a matter of just 3 or 4 years. So this year is the year. Don't postpone it any further. You too can pursue a career that is fulfilling and meaningful to you. I wrote about this method, about how to deal with a skewed sense of time, in my new book, Multiple Careers, Quit the Rat Race and Pursue a Fulfilling Career, and that will hopefully be out in a few months from now. So in case you want to get updated on that and you're not subscribed to this channel yet, then make sure you subscribe and also hit the notification bell, because only if you do that will YouTube actually notify you when I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to leave me your comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video.